Hey guys, I'm walking Gus out here on the Fargo Red River Trail. It's pretty nice. You can see Puppy in the background. Yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about making changes, right? How do you make a change in your life? How does anybody actually change who they are um, to a degree to where they've successfully, removed the habits of yesteryear and trained themselves to become something different other than they are today. I just read the book The Alchemist, and a tree just fell in front of me. So there's a lot of talking about omens, but what happened is that I was talking about making a change. I was talking about friends of mine that were suffering and in pain. And I just started talking about what caused me to make a change. Literally, it was like, well, going inward. And then this tree fell right here, so we're gonna take a look at it. I don't know how often you guys see a tree just kind of fall in front of you. So this is it. Oh goodness, I don't know if you can see all the way up there. The tree actually looks like it broke in half. Wow, it's like still moving too. It's so cool. So first off, we're living, breathing organisms. That means we can make a change, okay? So if you're watching this and you're saying, holy crap, really want to make a change, really want to do something different in my life, you can, okay? You're not stuck. 100% you're not stuck. Even when you're stuck, you're not stuck. And the reason why you're not stuck is that something's gonna happen, okay? Because life doesn't stop moving. I found that the only time you actually see a change happen is if someone wants to change, right? I've been giving people advice my whole life. I like to try to fix people and change people, or at least I used to. And nobody who doesn't want to change will change. That's just it. If you don't want to change, then you're actually going to put up resistance to change. You're going to put up resistance to what other people say to you. I have another friend who's in a long-term relationship and it's going terribly. And he has been asking for advice for years. And he readily acknowledges that, he's not doing the work that he should be doing. The desire to change is the essence of change, right? More often than not, people aren't in the place where they even want to go through the effort of change, because change requires catalyst, right? Just some good fatherhood right here. Just teaching your kid how to be wrong from an early age. The easiest way to make a kid want to do what you say, Dad, is to just say it with a really angry, nagging voice. That's the best way. Thanks, Dad. I got divorced, and it was just the most supremely difficult thing that's ever happened in my life. And immediately, I was faced with a few interesting facts, right? Like in a divorce, it's so tempting to kind of say, well, this is the reason why everything happened, right? Oh yeah, it's this. Yeah, I figured it out. This is the linchpin. And my divorce happened in a way that was deeply unsettling to me. It was fast. It was very low communication. But all of those things were, happened for a reason as well. And I went, when I got divorced, I kind of went on this compulsive, need to figure everything out. So I did. Spent hundreds and hundreds of hours reading and thinking and analyzing and rereading and rethinking and reanalyzing and journaling and all of the above. And what I resulted in is great. There's this really brilliant book by a lady named Harriet Lerner called The Dance of Intimacy. Everyone should read it. One of the first things it says that in any big change in someone's life, there's a tendency to over focus on the other and under focus on the self. What this means is usually, almost always, things in our life have to do with other people. Why don't I succeed? Why don't I make a change? Why don't I become the person that I want to become? And it's like, wow, this person's preventing me, or this situation created by this institution, which is comprised of these people, is preventing me. And there's a lot less focus on the self. And I understand that focusing on the self is emotional. It's very difficult. But when we get to the rock bottom of ourselves, as both myself and one of my best friends, Josh Carroll, did this past year and a half or so, we get to that point where it's just sort of us and us. And you're kind of left with this decision to either love yourself or hate yourself. And then you have a choice. And I chose to love myself. I chose to accept myself as I am. But I also said, I'm determined to learn from my experiences. And I think, I don't know, there's a guy, Charles Eisenstein, that talks a fair clip about letting the thing that wants to happen, happen, right? So in life, we kind of experience all these different situations where, you know, a relationship feels like it's going somewhere, or feels like it's getting stagnant, and it feels like it's changing. And we kind of know where things are going, but sometimes we throw up blocks. You know, I guess I see people get out of long-term relationships and immediately jump into new ones. I see people who react to a negative life event and immediately try to change everything in their life as a result of that, either in spite of or to prove them otherwise. And I guess just being grateful for any catalyst or impetus for change at all is something that I've learned to do. Because when we get comfortable and we get relaxed and we get sort of resting in our coping mechanisms, it's pretty easy to just stop changing. And to stop changing is to die, I would say. Life's constantly moving, right? My entire blog here is me walking on this path, right? And it's probably totally jerky, and none of this footage will work, but that's fine. So it's really tough to know what to do when people come to me and they're like, hey, what's up? Like, tell me, look, I'm having all of these issues, you know, tell me what you think. And we kind of look at each other's lives as human beings and we're saying, like, are you, like, you idiot, like, just don't do this, this, and this, and do this, this, and this, and you're done. And it's funny because it really is that simple. But with that said, without a catalyst, without the energy for people to make that change, I mean, that's how they got there in the first place, right? They didn't have the energy to do the things they needed to do in the first place. In order to be able to make a change, we have to be honest. I'm gonna say that again. In order to make any sort of change in our life, we have to be honest. We have to be honest with ourselves, honest with the world around us, honest with the way things are. And it's freaking hard to do, man. It's so freaking hard to be honest. I'm trying to not swear as much, but do you know how hard it is to be honest? Like, for example, my hair's really long right now. Do you know how hard it is to be like, people don't really like this haircut? I like this haircut. I think it's great, but I understand, like, I can see it when people are lying to me. They're like, oh yeah, it's cool. Like, no, you don't think it's cool. Like, I know you don't. It's fine. And honesty is not what we think it is. Honesty is actually examining the depth of our situation and speaking truth about it. So here's what honesty isn't, right? Well, yeah, I want to date her, but I'm just not sure if she's right for me, okay? Here's what honesty actually is about this situation. Yeah, I'm physically attracted to her. I would love to have a physical relationship with her. However, she reminds me of my mother, which upon learning about my mother's, you know, her issues and things that she struggles with, upon learning more about those things, codependency, I feel apprehension that I'm just gonna repeat my parents' relationship by dating her, and that it'll automatically feel comfortable to me, but it won't ultimately be right. And we do all these crazy things to not be honest with each other, right? We refuse to talk to each other. We refuse to be open with each other because it's uncomfortable. But what I've seen over and over and over again is that people are so unwilling to get uncomfortable with each other that we internalize everything, right? And when we internalize all these feelings as negativity, apprehension, fear, then those eat away at our soul, and that's when you see the need for these coping mechanisms, okay? Alcoholism, sex, permanently being in a relationship, codependency, control codependency. So many different things that we do just to escape feeling uncomfortable. But guess what? You're gonna still feel really uncomfortable if you're someone that is constantly drinking to escape feeling uncomfortable. That just means now you're drunk and still uncomfortable. And so what am I saying here? I'm saying to make a change, we need to be honest, okay? And to make a change, we need to have the energy to be honest. So now what? Oh my gosh, my hair looks so gross. So now what? Get a weird haircut, start walking on a path with your dog, just kiss a baby, you're done.